Yeah.
Hey,
Hi.
welcome.
What's going on, man?
How's it going?
Oh,
What's
I
cracking
didn't
there,
just do
Pete?
a 4-hour show, so I feel like I'm probably a little bit more rested than you are.
A little bit. Maybe, you know what? This is like the fifth hour,
That's
you know? So I'm like, we're just going to keep going. I just have to, you have to remind me not to throw to traffic and news. So we'll be
okay.
all set.
I can do that.
I am
Uh,
sitting in the seat though, for sure, from before. So this is so great. I'm so stoked for today and tonight. And thanks to,
really?
thanks to you. Oh, I got to turn up my mic. Oh, this is great. Okay. Is that better? Is that
Oh,
loud
I
enough?
could hear him. Oh, turn
Okay.
up your mic. Yeah, now I can
Turn
hear
up
you
my
better.
mic.
Yeah.
Okay. It's good to be with you guys. Pete Kaliner, Brett Winterble. And thank you so much for joining us at Talktoberfest. Um, this is going to be kind of like a long form hangover, Pete, from Fridays.
Yeah, like when you mix liquor and beer and the clear and the brown liquors, and then you're
Uh,
down for like an hour, like hours long, day after. Rather than just a quick 15-minute hangover. It's like it's representative of a major bender,
a
which you
major
just
bender.
did 4 hours. You just did a
Yes.
major bender.
Yeah, it's true. It is
Yeah.
true. We are so grateful to all the folks who have come out to spend time with us. Most importantly, our great sponsor, Craft Body Scan, an amazing sponsor, and we're just so happy to be here together. So what are we thinking about here today, Pete? What do we have in mind? What do you have top of mind?
I don't know. I don't have anything.
No, all right.
No, I'm kidding. No. No, I'm kidding. Obviously, it's October 7th, so it's the 1-year anniversary, and I got going on all the different stuff on Western North Carolina and took a lot of phone calls today, and then the show ended, and I was like, I didn't even get to my October 7th stuff, which I felt bad about. Um, But I heard you covered it immediately, so then I was like, "All right, well, Brett did it." So it's kinda like I feel like I didn't do anything, but you did, so, like, by proxy, I kind of feel like I'm okay on that, but, like, that's the stuff I worry about, and I think about, like, just you know, as a host, you always wonder about the stuff that you didn't get to. I do, at least. I worry about the stuff I didn't get to, points that I feel like I didn't make, that kinda stuff, but it's just everything has been like I did. So I'm curious because I did I think it was the third hour where I went down the road of the the lithium mines. Uh,
Yes.
and and I think actually you had sent me the tweet of that meme, which that's what prompted me to go deeper into it earlier in the day, and then
Mhm.
somebody sent that exact meme to me asking me, "Hey, what's the deal with this?"
Yep.
And I don't know, like my patience is kind of worn thin on some of this stuff, and so I just kind of went into it, and then I labeled the third hour. I think it's the third hour. I labeled it something like, what's up with that lithium mine? And I'm just
See,
wondering if it's gonna get, like, a whole bunch of traction because people think I'm gonna be, you know, "Oh, look at this guy. This radio guy knows he's talking about," and then they're gonna listen to it, and they're gonna hear me say, "You guys are idiots, the lithium mine is in Kings Mountain. It's nowhere near Asheville. What are you doing?" And then I might get some backlash. I don't know. Yeah.
I
It's
see. I didn't do the lithium mine.
Oh,
I just saw that,
and you just wanted me
and
to know.
I kicked it to you.
Thanks for that.
But I was an early adopter of the quartz issue in spruce pine,
Right.
which I that has not been disputed as like anything like it's impossible. I mean that sounds like it's a serious situation here,
Well, the
in
plant said they're
terms
gonna
of
reopen.
yeah,
The
yeah.
plant said yeah, yeah,
But
so
when, Pete, when?
I'm
Why
just
the
asking
cover up?
questions. I'm
Just
just
asking.
asking
That's
questions. That's it.
that's the greatest line. Just
Oh
asking
gosh,
questions.
it's so annoying. The but it got me thinking, um, about how this stuff starts, and I'm a
Mhm.
why guy, I like to know why. And so I'm curious as to why this stuff sort of starts off, why
Mhm.
people promote stuff, why people think that they know. And
Mhm.
there are all different angles here. There are a bunch of them, right? But like part of it, and I guess I was just talking actually with Christy about this. Um, it's like there's like an addiction to doom,
A little
or
bit. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Mhm.
and whereas like she had she had said something, she had seen something or read something, and they were asking for help or whatever, or identifying some terrible thing that happened, and she's like, "Oh, what can we do to help in Western North Carolina? Like this bad thing happened. What can we do?" And it's like, well, they never thought that far. They never thought about that. It's just they wanted to share the terrible news. And I know I've just described like journalism, but you know, and I think that there are a lot of people that you see on social media, and I said this last week. We are all citizen journalists now, because you got a publishing platform, you got a responsibility before you spread stuff around to try and find out if it's true, and I don't know. So that was sort of my first thought on that front. Like, what do you think about why people are motivated to share the bad news and to be just like, "Oh, this is terrible. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it." And then like that's the end of the thought.
Okay, I think it's because of social media, which is a duh. That's an easy thing to say, but
That's what I said.
everybody's got their phone in their pocket. Everybody's trying to find the most extreme story that's out there. I mean,
Hmm.
and they want to be like, did you know that this guy was my test with all these things is the too perfect test. It's like too perfect. Okay. It's like, there was, when I was a kid, Grenada got invaded. And I remember this teacher, wait, this teacher
That was a
said,
movie. I saw that on a movie.
okay,
It was
okay,
like
but it got
there were
it.
like four
Grenada,
college kids being held hostage, right?
yes, yes. So Grenada got invaded.
Right.
And I remember this awesome takedown by one teacher of another. And the teacher says, Grenada, wait, Havana is 90 miles from Grenada. I'm 90 miles from America. And Grenada is 90 miles from Cuba. And this teacher just looks at him. He was just a really surly teacher. And he said, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's too perfect. It's too perfect. You
No,
can't
that
do it. It's
is.
too perfect.
I mean, this was a while ago, Grenada, so that might have been the dumbest thing he's heard. I mean,
That
since
was
then we've
83.
had many more dumb things, probably much dumber
We
things. I
have.
mean, Guam tipping over is probably dumber
That's
now.
the
But that,
great. Come on. The great. No, Sheila Jackson Lee. Pivot the rover and
yeah,
show me the American flag on Mars.
yeah, that too. That was a
These are
pretty.
people. These are people with power. These are power
Uh,
people.
well, but here's the thing: I like them in a body that's got 434 other members. You know, I
You
like
want to
them
clarify that?
right where they're in the Congress. I like them
Yes,
being
they are.
stuffed in the Congress where there's 434 other borderline dumbasses, if not full blown, that
Yeah, big time.
are just like, but on the but on different you know, coming from different angles at you the whole time. And so, like, I think that there's I don't know, like a balance of dumbassery that is achieved, you know, so as to not tip over.
Is there a
Um,
dumbass caucus? Is there a dumbass caucus?
there should be probably
Wow.
informal.
There'll
It's
be
the pro
435 people.
There could be. There very well could be. Uh, no, but that's interesting. That's interesting about the two perfect. So like it reminded me when you said it, I wrote it down. It reminded me of there's an old line, I don't remember who told it to me, but in journalism, which is nothing kills a great story like the other side of it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, and that's kind of along those same lines. Like, that's a little too perfect. And so, in other words, like, you should go and check and see if it is too perfect, because it probably isn't true, right?
Right. Right.
And that's why, I mean, that's honestly like, and that's the kind of skepticism which kind of goes into a second angle here, like the skepticism of journalists when it
Yes.
comes to, like, for example, all of the different stories, you know, the fact checks that we're seeing now that, you know, FEMA put out, and I saw the Charlotte Observer put out one, and they're like, oh, here's the thing, here's the rumor, this is not true, and they cite as evidence of it not being true. Like in one of the instances was, that supplies are being rejected or confiscated, or people are being turned away, right? And
Right.
they cite as the authority to say that's not true. They cite as the authority the alleged suspect in the story, right? Which is kind of odd, right? If you like, you're FEMA's taking our stuff. Like, well, let me go ask FEMA. FEMA's like, we're not taking their stuff. Like, fact check, false. FEMA didn't take your stuff. Like, wait a minute. Like, why did that happen that way? Why couldn't it be like FEMA might be lying? Or maybe just some person who was working for FEMA did something and they weren't supposed to do it, made a mistake. Or maybe they're a bad person. Or maybe you didn't want the supplies because it's a home cooked meal, and we can't have home cooked meals being delivered on premises for, you know, regulation 72-12, whatever, you know, so you can't have home cooked meals. You know, leave your Mamaw's casserole recipe at home. Don't you bring that over here. We want canned goods with pop tops, so people don't have to open them with can openers. You know, like, that's the rule. And so they're just following rules. So is that necessarily, so when someone shows up with the casserole and you turn them away, and then they go onto Facebook and they're like, I tried to bring Mamaw's casserole and I got turned away, and they're correct, but you are also like following a rule, and then you're like, we're not turning anything away, but you kind of are, you know, you did.
Well,
and it wasn't nefarious.
But I mean, look, you can't even bring cupcakes to schools anymore. Like, to your kids, you can't bring cupcakes. I'm saying, like, when, you know, like birthday party. You remember birthday parties when we were like younger, and mom would bring cupcakes or a cake or something, and it was nice. That was, you know, so you, and it became, everybody's allergic to peanuts, everybody's allergic to LSD or whatever. Glutens. And so, you know, glutens.
So I will say this, and I think this goes to why I don't ever really celebrate my birthday. And I've never really cared about my birthday.
What?
It's like one of the reasons. One of the reasons why was because my birthday was always during the school year, and my mom was not a baker, and they apparently did not believe in nor care to send me to the classroom with cupcakes or the Dunkin' donut holes or anything like that.
Holes.
Yeah,
donut
nothing. And so I never wanted anybody to know it was my birthday.
Oh,
so I think that's why, because as a kid, so I never brought, and so, but I am curious, like this tradition in the schools, which apparently they don't do anymore.
They don't do it anymore
because of the allergies and the glutens.
Yeah.
But
allergies.
Like, where did that come from, where it's my birthday and I have to be the one to bring you a present?
No, you didn't have to. No, you brought the present to the kid, to your friends, like your mom would bring it, or it wasn't the kids. It wasn't the kids were supposed to bring you donut holes.
No,
you would bring them for the children.
That's what I mean. If it's my birthday, why do I have to bring the cupcakes to the class? Shouldn't they bring me the cupcakes? It's my birthday.
You're going to end up with 75 cupcakes from all of these kids.
There's only 20 kids in the class. Everybody bring your own, or BYOC. Like, you know, you don't just bring your own cupcake. Like I shouldn't have to buy everyone else cupcakes because then the kids who have the birthdays in the summer, they never have to buy cupcakes for everybody else. No, they invite you over to their house.
Wait, okay.
And then you got to bring them a present.
So if I went to your house for your birthday, right?
You wouldn't, because you don't know my birthday.
Okay, but let's say I found out your birthday. I rummaged the files at WBT and found here's what I did. Okay, hold on. This is going to be an act out. Are you ready for the act out?
Okay, go for it.
Get ready, everybody.
Done.
April 26th. I found it. Because whenever they go in the files, they always put the flashlight in the mouth.
Yeah. Why do you have a flashlight right next to your? Why do you have a flashlight there?
Because I was incommunicado all weekend because you'll appreciate this. I was mentoring my confirmandees there at a retreat, and so it was either that or a trip over at the place that I went.
No, why is it right in front of you at this moment?
Because I unpacked earlier. It's a really powerful one. This is a very powerful one right here. But I left it on my desk in case, of emergency.
Does it have good heft?
This thing, it's not like, it probably would knock you silly a little bit.
That's what I was going to ask next. Yeah. Is it a good Thul Kraken heft?
No, but it's good for this. You ready?
What did I say? Skull thwacking. Yeah, that's what I thought you had it next to your
that's not why though. But I was okay. Back to the file. So if I found your birthday out, see, you tried to throw me off. If I found your birthday out, which is one of 365, potentially 366 days, then I would expect you to give me cupcakes.
Why?
Because it's the social fabric.
No, I would not be responsible for providing my own cake. Because look, right now, so I'm married. So Christy would probably buy me a cake. She has every birthday, basically.
Communal
right?
property? Is it communal property? Is the cake communal property?
Okay, so you can't really do it as a comparison for right now, because if you have a significant other, they're probably going to be the one that buys you the cake, right? So let's assume I'm single, as all of the kids in grammar school are, right? None of them are married. I mean, we're not in like Utah. So no, I kid Utah. Okay. So we're all single. So if you were to go to your single friend's birthday party, would they have a cake for themselves? No. Somebody would bring them the cake. Or there is no cake and there's just a lot of booze, right? Like those are the options. Or you go out to dinner. That's it. You're out at a restaurant and then you don't even have to worry about the cake. That's what I mean. I'm glad the tradition. Look, I don't care if it was the allergies or the glutens or both that killed off this stupid tradition of penalizing people for having a birthday.
I never thought you'd be I never thought you would be a cakeist.
I'm not anti-cake. Christy and I, at our wedding, we had cupcakes at our wedding.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Filled or not?
Filled, absolutely filled. What's the point of a cupcake with I don't even eat cupcakes unless it's got a filling in it. We need to go and say hello to everybody in the chat. I don't even know.
Please, let's do this. Go ahead. Yes,
right, let's do this. Back. Let's see who's here. Hang on a second. I can do this because I believe I've got. Yes. Can you hear that?
Yes.
Oh, good. All right. Tracy, what's up? Hello. And David is here. Steve is here as well. Deacon, love it when you two get together. We do it every Friday for the Friday hangover, unless Brett bumps me from Michael Watley. Really?
Yeah, it was a Watley. I'm
just kidding. Jennifer is here. Hello, Jennifer. And John, When stuff hits the fan, heroes gear up and others don their tinfoil hats. Well, see, now that's a good angle to that. Maybe that is their emergency response gear. I had not considered that.
Very good. Very good.
Tinfoil hat.
Mm-hmm.
Some people put the hard hat on. Some people put the reflector vest on. Whatever, the boots, waders, whatever. And some people are like, go to the closet, pull out the hat box, take the tinfoil hat out.
Hat box.
Just let's roll. I'm ready. Spencer is here. Hello, Spencer. Steve. Oh, I didn't see Pam. That's what Steve says.
Pam's still doing traffic, I think.
She's still working. Can you play the Zone of Dumbass? I actually can. Hang on a second. Yes. Here it is.
The Zone of Dumbassery.
There you go. That was for our earlier comments. Let's see. Where am I now? Now I want cake. Oh my goodness, hang on. I lost my place in the scroll. Oh my gosh. I hate it when this happens. Spencer, there we go. Spencer's here. Pam, Zone of Dumbassery. There could be 6,000 if the last of the there could be 6,000 if the last of the articles from the original Bill of Rights gets confirmed.
That's for the Congress. That's a Congress reference.
Oh.
I don't want to vote for 6,000 people. That's a lot of work.
And think of the expense.
Oh gosh.
Can you imagine 6,000 people making $200K a year?
Yeah. The Teamsters.
There you go. Good observation. John from Christie. Hi, after technical difficulties, I finally made it. Welcome, Catherine. And Mike, maybe Mayma got an 82.7 cleanliness score. Now that's possible.
Very good.
I said it was Mayma's recipe. I said it was her recipe. But whoever made it could have had a very low score too. Right. And
very
look,
true.
That's what I mean. I understand why these regulations exist, right? All these regulations exist because somebody did something, and they were like, I don't see a rule against it. And they're like, okay, gonna have to make a rule. Right?
Yes,
that's how all this stuff happens.
Have the armadillo sushi. Go right ahead. Here we go.
It hasn't been refrigerated because we have no power, but dig in. Yeah. Bobby, what's up, Bobby? Welcome. Hello from Gastonia. Pete is unpacking some deep trauma here. It may have been trauma. I don't know. Christy has asked me why I don't care about my birthday, and I think that might be part of it. Also, I found something out over the summer because my sister, her birthday is very close to mine, like within a day of mine. And so she pointed out that after you get out of school, summer birthdays are more fun because when you're K-12, not even really, when you're like in elementary school, because by the time you get to high school, you're hanging out with your friends over the summer, right? But in the early grades, you're not really hanging out in the summertime with a lot of the kids from the school, That's
right.
So when you're older, then you are hanging out with kids, your friends, your adult friends in the summertime. And it's like, let's go to the beach, right? People are on vacation, taking days off, and you can go wherever. And you can't do that during the school year. And so the summer birthdays become way more fun, and I don't have a summer birthday. See, so I've narrowed it down for you now.
This is very good. This is good. So somewhere in that window of 90-ish days, we can, yes, that's very good there, Pete.
Or I'm lying.
When's your sister's birthday?
I don't remember.
Dang.
I never remember birthdays. What did I just say?
How did you know it was within a day or two of yours? You're under oath, Mr. Kaliner. You're under oath.
Steve is here. Aaron says, I know Bernie there, just wanted to ask him how the new baby is doing. Mike says, great. Now Pete is giving a new line for the school systems to ask for more money. We need to provide kids with birthday cupcakes. We need another $250 million.
Very good.
Oh, and here's the thing, too. You're going to have to do it for all the kids because you can't just do it for some. So, well, unless you do an equity lens, unless we're doing it through like a DEI lens, then maybe some groups will get the cupcakes and others won't. But I'm just going to go with an equality lens and say you got to do it for everybody, which means just like we give the food to the kids in the summer months, right? When they're not getting it from the schools.
That's necessary. Those are kids that are, in need. That's
every child deserves cupcakes on their birthday. If we're going to do it for any kids during the school year, then we have to do it for all the kids. Now, I don't know how you get all of the kids assembled in the summer months. Like, or you just like, if I got a summer birthday, does like the school district just show up with like a whole box of cupcakes for me?
There's an easier way to do this. There's an easier way to do this.
To all my classmates. Do they just deliver one cupcake to every classmate for my birthday and then Zoom call us all together or something?
Each day of the summer, they will flash mob a different 7-Eleven.
Why 7-Eleven?
Circle K, 7-Eleven, pick your choice. I like QT too much, so I don't want to see them getting flash mobbed.
Why are we going to gas stations for this? What I don't understand.
Because you can get chips, you can get beer, you can get cupcakes.
What are you giving beer to kids for?
It's a free for all. It's a free for all.
So the kids get to drink beer? Wait, at 7-Eleven.
Root beer.
I'm
just saying, because you're saying the system is geared towards criminality this day and age.
Yeah, that is true.
Mm-hmm.
Tracy says now she wants cake. Christy says Pete does not actually like cake except Carvel ice cream cake. Okay,
that's awesome.
I don't like the sponge part of the cake. Some might call it the cake part of the cake. I like the icing.
Would you have a pie? Would you eat a pie for your birthday? Is pie good?
I like pie. Certain pies. I don't like apple pie. Yeah, I mean, well, I like apple pie fine. It's not something I seek out. I don't have a big sweet tooth.
How about meringue? Are you a meringue guy?
No.
I figured.
Is that a tropical fruit?
Meringue?
No, it's lemon, right? It's meringue.
Lemon. It's lemon meringue.
Hate it.
There you go.
Don't like key lime. Don't like lemon. Well, I shouldn't say I don't like it. I will eat, like, gun to my head, I will eat it, And I'm not.
How often does that happen? The gun to the head.
So far 3 times, but hopefully not ever again. But no, I don't ever seek out pie. I do like cannoli. I do like
cannolis are great. Oh, cannolis are that's a win right there.
Tiramisu.
Tiramisu, sure. It's a dessert. Yeah,
it's a dessert. I like that. I like ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
So the Carvel ice cream cake, Fudgy the Whale.
Do you get the whale or do you get the Santa? Because it's the same.
I've never had the whale.
The whale and the Santa are the same.
And they had one that was it's just a different decoration on top. It's the same mold. It looks Santa's face looks like a whale.
Correct.
Just turned this way.
Mm-hmm.
Like the tail
he had too much nog.
Yeah,
he had too much nog, so he's on his side.
Right. And I thought there was another one they tried to do that was based it was the same mold, and then they just tried a different thing on it. But I do. I worked for a day at Carvel Ice Cream Shop.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I was junior high or something. I was like 15.
Mm-hmm.
Worked for one day. They never called me back. I don't know why.
What bad job that you ever had would you go back and do it again if you had to?
If I had to?
Yeah, if you had to. Like you're like I gotta get a job.
Like eat this lime pie or go do this job that I didn't like.
Yeah. What was a job you did that you hated, but that you would go back and do it?
Now I would go back and I would put checks in order. That was that was a job I had.
You
Literally
mean like numerically in order? Like each? Wow.
like a box
Oh
about
my gosh.
that big, about 2 feet long,
Like a banker's box.
right, filled with payroll checks
Oh
for
my.
yeah, like hundreds and hundreds of employees every 2 weeks.
That
And
is off. That is
I had a
torturous.
whole system. Oh, and it was awful. I hated it. But because it was
Whoa.
mind-numbingly boring, tedious, your fingers dried out from the paper and all of that. But it was good money. It was minimum wage, I think, and I think it was like $5 an hour or something. And it would take you 2 weeks
Oh
to
my
get all those things in order. And you'd have to you have to start off by doing stacks, and they had to be so numerical order front to back. So this way, when they got filed away, they could easily find, because these were the checks that came back from the bank to the business, and the business wanted them all in numerical order so they could pull the checks when they needed to, rather than have to look through, 600.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
Jeez.
Yeah. It was pretty bad. So there's a job that doesn't. What about you? Bad job that you would have to do or eat key lime pie?
I'm not anti key lime pie. I like key lime pie. That's enjoyable. I always say this. I mean, I've been out front about this. I would work I like supermarkets. I think they're fascinating.
Oh yeah. I had a guy in Asheville, a caller who knew everything about grocery stores, like the systems.
Yeah, the systems,
the profit margins, the where stuff is placed. Like this guy was super, super knowledgeable. And anytime I ever mentioned anything about a grocery store, he would call. And he would go deep on all of that stuff. It's fascinating.
He could read the barcodes and be like, look, this is okay. This one you don't want because this is the mark of the beast. But this one is very good.
What's it's like the barcodes are going past him as he's like deciphering all of the,
like the Matrix. the Wachowski non-brothers now
walks through. He could read the barcodes on everything and see the whole system in its entirety.
There's people, they have Sherpas now that go out there and read the Costco codes when they're about to get rid of the product. There are people who do that.
So, all right. Well, as one who would, as a form of torture, choose to go back to work at a grocery store, what is the deal? What is the model at Costco? I'm unclear. Like, it's not like do they stock the same stuff all the time?
Sometimes. Oh, yeah. There are certain things that they do stock all the time, like diapers, soap, those sorts of things. But then they have seasonal stuff. I'm not a Costcoian, but I know enough to get around. So there's a lot of stuff that you can, Costcoan, I think.
Costcoan?
It sounds like a law firm in White Plains, New York. Costconite. So it's
it was a very specific location in
White Plains,
New York.
White Plains, New York.
Why not Jamestown, New York? Anyway, sorry.
Too ritzy. So anyways, the Costco is like its own science, and they're union and they make bank. Those a lot of teachers work at Costco actually in the off season.
I just had heard that they're always, that stock comes in and goes out and then it's not there anymore, like on a regular basis. And that would be super frustrating that you have to keep going back to find out what's in the store.
No, it's not like a liquidation warehouse. They have set stuff. They have lots of set stuff. Yeah.
All right.
And you don't see them getting you don't see people running out of Costco with televisions. Like stealing, because they scan you in, they check your receipt. So you're very safe there. And that's which is
I think you could probably do a burg or a robbery, or I guess it would be shoplifting of a big TV once. I think you could do it once because I've seen the security on the way out, and it's really not
Well,
that.
yeah, okay. If you
I could
right,
get
like a
past that
smash
whole
and
deal.
grab thing, yeah. But
And if I grab
let's
it,
be clear,
right?
we're not advocating for the violation of any laws.
No,
This is
I'm just running. I'm just I'm just kind of walking through the process, looking for softness. Just so they can
Sure.
identify. And so
Okay,
that they
that
can
would
address it.
see loss
Right.
prevention. You would be good at that too, right? Because you already know how to handle the checks. Then you just look and
Right.
see about the hot checks.
Right. I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking if I took the TV, because like I come in, they know who I am on the way in. They got me on video. Sure. But if I take the TV and run out and then never go back,
Mm-hmm. True.
then it was worth the membership cost.
Hey, we got something really cool that just popped up
Okay.
on the thing,
Oh,
on
I
the
forgot.
transom.
Yeah,
It's okay.
yeah.
It's okay. I'm going to jump the queue because it just popped up. Trisha Kent. You know Trisha Kent?
Trisha? No.
Okay. Trisha Kent. What you'll know why in a minute. Trisha Kent. She says, "Hi guys, this is the Kents, News and Brews, PhD. Just wanted to let you know that Greg got a kidney transplant, 1022
Yes.
donor in Tampa. That's awesome. God bless."
That is great news.
That is.
I was like, I recognize the name, but I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. Good job. That's awesome. I had
That is
nothing to do
great
with it.
news.
Good on you.
Yeah.
So good on Greg. That's awesome. Oh, that's good. That's that keeps more listeners for us. That's awesome.
Yes, it does. Yes, that's very true.
Yeah, congratulations. Keep us posted on how he's going in his recovery too.
Yep.
Is it called? I guess it's called recovery. Is it recovery?
Yeah, you're recovering from surgery. I mean, yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. What?
We got lots of. We have Susan Harris Hooper says, "I'm a teacher. We allow parents to bring cupcakes in during lunch. They just need to be store bought with the label still on."
Which label? Why?
Label.
See, like, what are you, FEMA? Oh, I can't bring Maymaw's birthday cake recipe now. It happens to be the same recipe as her casserole. Like, what's up with that?
It's the same. This tastes so familiar. What is this?
It's the same thing.
Armadillo sushi.
Thanksgiving. Bernie said the baby's doing great. Thanks for asking.
Mm-hmm.
Dave is saying howdy from Wayne County.
Howdy.
Hey, Dave. Let them eat cupcakes then. When I was in the 4th grade, one of my classmates was drafted into the U.S. Army in the 4th grade.
Wow.
I'm assuming that person got left back quite a bit.
Well, potty training can be hard.
That's right. That's
sorry.
Oh, here's Trisha Kent's comment. Yeah. 1022. Let you know that Greg got a kidney transplant 1022. Oh, so is that upcoming?
Upcoming.
October 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes more sense than October 2022 because that would have been 2 years ago, and that doesn't. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. That's okay. So not recovery yet. Okay,
not yet.
It's still coming. Good. But he got approved. I'm assuming if they've scheduled the surgery. Wayne, Brett, next time sport the Guns and Moses t-shirt.
I will do that with Coach.
Guns and Moses. There's Lori, hello, and Pam. Oh, Pam Warner's there. I am a teacher and we allow oh, there it is. I read that. Hi, Pam. I did not see you on Saturday at the ALZ walk, which means you have to come on October. Yeah, Pam will explain. She has some kind of a reason She said she had to work. Is the is the guy that voices Zone of Dumbassery and other audio clips for WBT local, or is he a national voiceover guy? Mike Mike Schaefer, the program
That's a
director
Mike.
at
Yeah, that's a
WBT.
Mike.
Yeah, that's a Mike. Here, I'll play it again. Let me see.
Warning, you're in the zone of dumbassery.
I feel like I've heard that imaging before on our station, right? That
Yeah.
guy?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a Mike Schaefer question. What was the name? Hang on. Was that Harrington?
Patrick Harrington.
Oh, I hate these things that you lose your place on the line where the stuff is, and then it just Harrington. Okay, I thought that was Pat Harrigan. That's the guy running for Congress.
No, that
why
guy
do you-
might want that.
That was what I was
He might
thinking.
want. Yeah. Yep.
He's like, I want to hire the guy for some campaign ads. That's why I thought you were asking. Sorry.
They're all right. All those guys sound the same when they do the campaign ads. I mean,
What do you mean by that? They all sound the same.
they all sound alike.
So racist. I did not have to work. I did have to work, but I plan on making it to the one on the 19th. Yes, Pam is going to be there at the 19th walk.
Yes.
I see your Grateful Dead sticker. Yes. It's actually a big old magnet, but I have it tacked to the wall.
Oh, that's a good move.
Yeah, because I used to have it on a fridge, and then it was a crappy fridge, so it condensation buildup behind it. It was a rental, an apartment, and a really bad apartment. And so when it was moving out, I grabbed it off the fridge. There was a big rust circle underneath it from where the water had collected and just sat for 2 years. I never knew. And I pull it off. It's all rusted behind it. And I was like, well, take that, slumlord.
There we go.
Yeah, in your face. Hey, Don Bryson, what's going on? I have been careening.
So I created a new phrase today. Remember with the Karen?
Heard that.
Okay. So we are going to start. The misinformation is going to be answered by careening. Because Jean-Pierreing sounds quaint.
KJPing? How about KJPing?
That sounds like a biological act.
They're no
I
bad
think
idea.
careening. I think careening relative to this administration is
Yes. But then I can't say cringe, Jean-Pierre.
Well, you do you.
All right. When your birthday is in the summer, you don't have a classroom of kids forced to celebrate you. I had to invite kids to come celebrate me and hope they said yes. See, Christy has an August birthday. So that's the thing. It stinks for those 6 years. But then when you get into junior high and high school, now you're crew. Now you're well, I guess after you drive, when you someone gets a license or you got bicycles and stuff, now you can get around a little bit.
And once you're in your 20s, you get to drink in the summer. News and Bruce.
Well, at 21s, 21 and over.
21 and over. Of course. I am not
I am not demonetized here.
There's no demonetization. Come on now.
That we know of.
It's all crypto.
It is. In elementary schools, we do half birthdays for the dumber birthdays.
For the dumber birthdays?
Wow, that's rude. Oh, I think she meant to say summer birthdays. Yeah, there it is. She meant to say summer birthdays. Although I do like the idea. I do like the idea.
Yes.
Dumber birthdays being
Well, you know what? They're probably in summer school.
Right. That's true. Right. Well, wait a minute, though. If you celebrate the dumber birthdays and they're in summer school, then they would get 2. I feel like we're rewarding dumbassery there.
That's okay. That's equity.
That is probably the case. how was the Friday Hangover born?
Wow.
That is my favorite weekly segment.
What?
It was Brett's idea. The good ideas are Brett's.
No.
He's an ideas guy. I'm like a manager. Like he comes up with the stuff. He's like, you should do this, you should do that. And then I'm like, no. And he comes but he does the stuff. Yeah, I think that's right. That was your idea. It wasn't my idea. You were just like, hey, I don't want to do show prep for this first segment.
No, that's not why I did it. That is not why. I felt because I helped to get involved with the takeover of Bo and Beth's show in the morning because
You've
I
colonized.
cannot be contained by my border.
Right.
Okay. So I said, okay, I want them to come on my show and then I'll go on their show. And then I said, okay, there's Pete. I like Pete. I like Pete a lot. And I want to figure out a way to do stuff with Pete. And so I figured the Friday Hangover was the perfect thing because number one, I trick you into doing one extra segment. And secondly,
it's not a trick. Like I see.
I know.
Now, unless of course this is like a Schaefer ploy.
No, it was a me ploy.
Okay. Like, right.
That was me. And I love when you come in because what people don't understand mostly is we just fly into stuff like we're doing right now. I mean, this is basically kind of what we do.
Don't lie. We totally scripted out the cupcake.
We do.
Stuff.
We script it in Spanish so nobody can decipher it.
No. So I think because it was his idea. It's totally Brett's idea. And it was your name. You came up with the name too. And it wasn't even like, hey, let's think of a name to call this. It was just like, hey, you just want to hang out, hang over. I think it was like that organic. It just was called that the first time.
And I get tons of feedback from people on that. Like they liked we do that because it goes kind of, and
I think we talked about this. How long have we been doing it now? Like probably like a year.
Yeah. About a year. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think I think we talked about this because you at one point did stand up, right?
Yeah.
You've tried I guess I
not
never
a lot. I had kids, and so I had to not do that. But
lost your sense of humor. Like, wait, there are comedians.
No. What I'm saying is,
and they have kids. Hello, Jim Gaffigan.
No. Yeah. That's not the point. No, the point is, I did some stand up in New York City right around the time we were having, our family was expanding, and I did some. Sherry and I both did Groundlings over in LA, which was a lot of fun.
What is Groundlings? I think
the Groundlings. It's improv.
Okay,
we did improv stuff, and so it was just I've always loved doing. I did a bunch of comedy stuff. I wrote a bunch of stuff for Rush that whatever, but
people would love to hear that. Are you allowed to talk about that?
Yeah. There's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if you got like an NDA or something. I don't know how.
No. It was a long time ago. I created Chang Limbang. For real.
I know.
I wrote Chang Limbang, Ali Limbali. We got into it. It was pretty good. It was a fun run.
So I think the reason I brought that up is because like Brett has, and you can hear it obviously in his show, is like the comic bug, the comedy bug. And because and this is not a knock on all hosts or anything that don't, there's some that are very serious, right? Like they are, they hammer away in their issues and policy and, or they're, political activist kind of people. And it takes all kinds and people like what they like, and that's fine. It's like comedy that way. Because I never really thought about stand-up comedy. I've never done stand-up comedy, but I did do a lot of like theater as a kid. I was a theater kid, but never good enough. Well, I shouldn't say never. By junior high, I was not good enough to be the lead role and stuff. And so then I just kind of quit doing it. But by the like 8th grade or something. But watching Jerry Seinfeld's Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, watching that series and listening to them talk about the craft of comedy. And no one had ever, I'd never heard anything like that before. And this was like within the last 5 years. And I became very aware of that. And so when I met you and heard your show, I paid attention to that element of the show in a way that I would not have prior to me watching that show. And so I think
that's interesting.
Yeah. So I think that's, and it's one of the things that I think that we do because we have that same sort of approach, you know, or blood.
I love like joke grenades, you know, like you say something and then it hits you when someone's driving in the car and they're like, did you just say that word that I thought you just said, like careening, or like it's, you want to go over the head of the kid.
Yeah.
What?
And then you just move on. You just drop it and just.
Yeah. You got it or you didn't.
Right. Somebody, I get emails from people because they'll listen on the podcast or something, and I'll get emails from them like a day after I did something like that. And they'll say, did you just reference something or other? And I'm like, did I reference something or other? I don't remember.
It's not right. That's what happened. Yes, I probably did. Yes.
Yeah.
We say a lot of words.
I do. Yeah, that's true. We do. Linda says, my birthday is December 30th, so school was always out on Christmas break. No cupcakes. Yeah, December 30th. Yeah. That's a tough one. Right there before New Year's Eve. Although as a kid, that's better. As you get older, well, I guess it could be have a birthday party, New Year's Eve party. Just do a bender all the way through. You start on the 30th and don't stop till New Year's Day.
Yep. That's true.
Jennifer says, Pete, you are bringing up some interesting arguments regarding birthdays and the inequality of summer versus school year birthdays. You and I may have met in a Grateful Dead lot back in the day. Wow. Interesting. Well, I only got to go to 2 shows. I got to 2 Grateful Dead shows. One was at RFK Stadium in DC. Bob Dylan opened for him. And that was like 96. That was like a month. It was like July of 96, I want to say. It was a month before, I think it was, or 95. It was a month before Jerry died.
Wow.
Yeah. And the one before that was the second show in Charlotte where Bruce Hornsby made a surprise appearance and played the whole show with the Dead. That was my first Dead show, Charlotte.
Wow.
And then,
that's awesome.
Yeah, and then Jerry died, and it was like, man, no more shows. And then my buddy's like, oh no, man, Fish is great too. I'm like, are they though? And so I actually went to more Fish shows trying to like them, and it just didn't take.
Did you bounce around the room?
No, they were incredibly gifted musicians, but their lyrics suck. Oh my gosh, the lyrics were so bad. To your point, bouncing around the room.
Yes.
And at least the Dead knew they hired 2 songwriters.
Oh yeah.
Right?
They were a machine.
Right. I mean, Barlow and Hunter. Like even they knew, like, we can play music, we can jam, we can take all the drugs, but we cannot write lyrics. So you write some lyrics.
You're a poet. Go.
Right. Do it. And so those are the only 2 shows. And then I was like, no, I can't do the Fish thing. And I saw a couple Widespread Panic shows. Dave Matthews Band was there for like a minute, and I literally fell asleep at one of their concerts.
That was without a doubt, that was the worst concert I ever went to.
You were at that same show?
Not where were you?
Charlotte.
Oh, okay. No, I was at the Meadowlands.
So
it was so boring. It was. Look, I like Metallica. I like heavy rock. You know,
right.
As you could hear by my bumps.
Right. I was going to say, I don't ever hear Dave Matthews Band on your
There's
bump
no Dave
list.
Matthews on art. We don't do that. If you call, we'll put you on hold and we'll let you hear the Dave Matthews. No, just
I have one day. So I went, but like the first album when it came out, remember the one, remember the thing? Whatever happened to those things? Those optical illusion things. They were all the rage. Remember that when they first,
yeah.
you had to like look and then like pull it away. Oh my gosh, I can see the peace sign, you know. Okay. Otherwise, it just looks like a weird graphic on the CD case, but whatever. And that I remember like, well, there was so like my crew that we were rolling, you know, we had like, I don't know, 20, 30 people in our core group, you know, and then there was like this one of the group was these girls and they were all into when Dave Matthews came out. And then of course the guys that liked the girls, they were like so into him too. And I liked, you know, the Ants March, you know, like some of them were okay.
It's all right. Yeah.
It was the 90s. I mean, come on, mistakes were made, but like that's not, I don't know, like it never it just never went anywhere else. Counting Crows loved their first album.
Yeah. What would you say? I remember the first time when I came to so when I got hired and I was working with TJ at the very first show that I did at WBT, and I go in the studio. I met him like the day that I arrived, and so I met him and I said, do I have to play Dave Matthews? I said, do I have to play What Would You Say? And I said, because I really hate that song. And TJ goes, what do you want to play? And I said, would it be okay if we play Kickstart My Heart? And TJ, in his best TJ way, goes, of course, absolutely, coming right up. And that's when we started doing that. So,
well, TJ is a metalhead too, is he not?
Well, no, he's got a great taste for music. Yeah, I mean, I could throw out a lyric and he could find it. And
yeah,
like, boom, boom,
TJ
boom.
was the producer for Brett's show until Brett fired him.
He's over there at the music station. I love TJ. Now I love Isaac. Now Isaac and Lonnie,
Isaac and Lonnie are solid guys.
Isaac and Lonnie are bomb. All right, those guys are it.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys.
Is Isaac a metalhead? Is metalhead the appropriate word? Am I allowed to say metalhead? I just say head after like all of the like deadhead, spreadhead.
What's spreadhead?
Widespread panic.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, spreadhead.
I just learned something. I was this old.
Metalhead. Metalhead. Not on Pete's diet. Yeah, that's true. All of the cupcakes and stuff not on the diet.
Oh, that's right.
I don't have a sweet tooth. So even though I said a lot, I don't like the spongy cakey part of cupcakes or cake. I like the icing or the stuff in the middle. If it's like a layered cake with like the custard, like I like custard, puddings, like I like that stuff. But I don't like a lot of it. Like seriously, I remember PhD when I first went in there, and you did PhD, so you know you've had like some of the food, and a lot of it is sweet related. You know, it's like chocolates and stuff.
Yeah.
And
yep.
And I'm like, I don't like, and they were like excited,
That's
like,
funny.
we have this chocolate stuff, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that's funny because I'd rather eat like Funyuns than eat like cake. I mean,
salty, savory. I like.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried chantilly cake from Publix? I don't even know what a chantilly cake is.
That sounds cool. I got to try that. I have no idea what it is.
Carvel had a leprechaun cake too, I believe so. Oh my gosh, you know, Christy and I we saw an ad last night for the Tootsie Pops. That remember the old?
Sure, with the owl.
Exactly.
Wise old owl.
Right. And at first I thought it was going to be one of these things like it's a throwback and then they're going to like, you know, twist it into some new thing and like, oh, remember that or whatever. And it wasn't. It was just straight up the old ad in a Netflix show or something. Like, that's awesome. They should do a lot more of that. Bring back these old like Mikey Likes It commercials and stuff. Why not?
No, I love those. Those are the best. Those are like, you know, all those commercials were awesome. That you're talking my jam growing up. I mean, that and Iron Eyes Cody crying on the horse with the beer cans. And it turns out he's Sicilian. He's not. He was
not even indigenous.
Yeah, but he
Yes,
didn't
he's
get
indigenous
any.
to Italy.
He didn't get any hassle about that. Okay, he
He's
was
basically in
Iron
blackface.
Eyes. He was never in blackface.
I mean, it's basically like black.
He was Sicilian.
Right. I mean, but he's indigenous to Sicily. He's not indigenous here.
I think he was born in Louisiana.
But he's not a Native American. He's not an Indian. He's
No,
not.
I understand what
Right.
you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Right.
But
And so it's the equivalent. He's appropriating. It's the equivalent.
yeah, but it was
it's like
1973. We were using napalm still.
That's true.
I
And
mean, sensibilities change over a period of time.
that's fair.
Yeah,
No, that's fair.
Oh my gosh, I'm
oh.
looking at. Let me just say something. I'm looking at the. I'm watching the weather down in Tampa.
Yeah.
The traffic's not even moving, and that stuff is coming. I mean, oof.
This is it like a category 5.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I was listening to you actually, and you were saying it's like 117 mile an hour, not gusts, 117
75, 175.
175 wind speed.
Yeah. Crazy.
Did you see what DeSantis's guys did at the landfill? I think it was Pinellas County. Did you hear this story?
No. What they do?
Well, so he ordered all of the landfills to open up so people could just dump all of the trash and just keep it all moving, right? Get it all into the landfills. And Pinellas County apparently locked their gate.
Oh.
And they were like in defiance of him or something. And so there's a text message floating around out there purportedly from one of DeSantis's people. They're like, yeah, boss, here at the gate, they got it locked. No one's answering their phone. And no one's taking the call, whatever. He's like, we're fixing to hook up the Ram 250s or 350s or whatever they are, fixing to hook up our trucks with the winches and just rip that gate down. If we can't get it down, we're just going to ram it. And they did. They pulled the gates down so they could get the trucks in to dump the trash.
Look at that ramming speed.
Because
you don't want that stuff. Yeah, acquiring.
Right.
I mean,
right. So this was, I remember there was another Carvel ice cream cake and I could not remember what it was, but Nicholas does. It was literally called the Cookie Opus.
The Cookie Opus.
Uh-huh.
I never heard of that. Never.
It was, I believe it may have been some kind of an octopus. Nobody gets paper checks, so that job is obsolete. That's true. But I would do it again now. That was the question. A job I hated at the time that I would now go back to doing. Because you know how many podcasts I could listen to nowadays? Like back then, it was just like all I had was like NPR, which is probably how I ended up in talk radio. But nobody Pam and Pete are so much fun to listen to as well. I laughed so much. That's very nice.
I do too. I listen to you and I laugh too.
Well, that's good. We try to have fun. Although
you do a good job. My gosh.
Made Pam cry. I thoroughly enjoy both you guys, but I really appreciate Pete's reporter instincts. Oh, that's very sweet.
That's awesome.
Sometimes I think people get frustrated with me about that, Mike. I appreciate that. I think sometimes people get frustrated because I don't. Well, in this, to call back, if you will, to use a comedic term, but
yes, sir.
Bring it all back home. Is that like this? The skepticism that is expressed towards certain people. Like did you see Tim Alberta? You know who that guy is from the Atlantic. Did you see this tweet about somebody? I think it was Katie Pavlich at Town Hall, maybe, and she said, friend of mine said this is happening in Western North Carolina, some bad thing, right? And he was like, oh, well, then I guess it's totally true. You taking some, random person's word for it or whatever. That's journalism or something. And then somebody went and found this same guy, Tim Alberta, who said the exact same thing when Hurricane Harvey, I think it was, hit Texas. He had a friend who said it was so bad, worse than anything, whatever, virtually the same thing that Katie Pavlich said.
Jeez,
but
Louise.
When her friend says it, now she's just spreading some anonymously sourced, statement. But when he says it, it's legit. And that right there, I think, is sort of the perfect encapsulation of the problem, is that there are a lot of people in media that when somebody says something, the first thing that the reporter does is they look at the person, they kind of size them up, and they're like, what are your politics?
That's it.
And if your politics don't line up with mine, then I'm going to assume that you're a kook. But if your politics line up with mine, I'm going to chase this lead.
That's right.
I'm going to ask some people some questions.
Right. It's like the old line. Yeah. It's crazy.
The old line from what?
I was going to say, it's just like the old line from the Simpsons when they go, oh, yeah, sure. Like you went to Harvard. You know, I mean, it was just.
Costco stopped stocking Lance Toast Cheese crackers.
I don't know what that is.
Lance Toast Cheese crackers, the orange ones with the peanut butter in them. Is that because of peanut allergies?
I don't think so.
Maybe. A lot of callbacks here. Oh, Pam has a question. Do you remember the point in your life when you knew this is what you wanted to do? Brett?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. So I always loved radio. Radio was always awesome. And I loved, I used to listen to like all kinds of crazy stuff out in the desert in El Paso and pick up Skip all night long. It was just awesome. Skip was not a friend or anybody. It was the Skip on the, when it was dark outside. I didn't want anybody to think that
on the bounce
named Skip. Yeah, I was a kid.
Radio
Skip
frequency.
wasn't coming to visit me. Yeah, it was just bouncing. And so around the room.
That's what the radio guys say is on the skip.
I never heard that. I just learned that. So anyways, I always wanted to pretty much always wanted to do radio. I thought it was the coolest medium of all.
The coolest of all. Okay. I don't know. I don't think I ever decided I wanted to do live streams.
Live streams?
Well, yeah, that was the question. She said, when you knew this is what you wanted to do.
Oh, God, you're so literal. That's awesome.
You know what? I was actually called Mr. Technicality when I was a kid by my family. Because growing up Irish Catholic with that Irish wit that oftentimes could be mistaken for criticism of everything all the time. But they would, that's what they call it, Mr. Technicality. Because I was always catching people with their BS.
Yeah. And are you a middle brother? Are you a middle brother?
I am. Yeah.
My brother did the same stuff to me.
Why are you the oldest?
I'm the oldest.
Yeah, you remind me of my older brother Frank, and I got two younger sisters. So yeah, I was the middle brother. You two are so quick with the quips, quick quips.
Quick clips.
We could do something with that.
Yeah, we could.
Quick quips. Okay, the best. I love it. Listen to you both daily. Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you very much.
Hey Pam, a bell should ring for you in the chat. She already got bell rings.
She's got the bell ringing.
Lily is here. Hello, Lily, or was here actually like 30 minutes ago. Rodney checking in. Hello, Rodney.
Hey, Rodney.
Jenny says my daughter's birthday is Christmas Eve. Well, Jenny, whose fault is that?
Wow. Woo. I know Jenny, and I like Jenny. And Jenny is my kind of people.
Christmas Eve, though, but at least it's not Christmas Day.
My mom's was.
Yeah, that like
brutal.
Right. Because there isn't anything you could ever say.
Yeah.
That could not be met with a retort of, are you more important than Jesus? Like,
but you never really got like Christmas. You got Christmas gifts and it's your birthday.
So, okay. Without divulging my birthday, I will tell you.
Yes, sir.
I am pretty close to Christmas as well. So I got this gift is half your birthday.
You said summer. You said summer, and now you're taking.
No, I said I was not in summer.
Oh, okay. Not in summer.
Yeah. I said that was a clue, which apparently was not a very good clue. So, no, I'm pretty close to Christmas, and so I got those two. I got the, hey, here's a shirt. It's, for your birthday and Christmas. It's like, oh, do you do that with people whose birthdays in August? Do you
My
give them
son-
a shirt and be like, this is for Christmas too in 5 months? Like nobody does that.
My son is like close enough to Christmas that it's like we'll duopoly it there if we have to.
That's the thing. It's got to be of comparable value.
It's a big thing. You usually give the big, like the big. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
this is for
Right. And I think it's easier maybe as a kid when they're real young because you could just buy them 2 little toys.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it's easier as they're older because you could do the big one,
Mm-hmm.
the big thing,
Mm-hmm.
and they understand it better. Same thing. But when you're in those younger years, you don't understand. Like you don't understand. Like, well, why is this for both? It's my birthday. It's not Christmas. Like, what's up with that?
Christmas. That's good.
See, so that's what I mean. So there was never any, and that's not an indictment on like my parents or my family or anybody else. It's just like, I think that's where that kid, because Christy has asked me like, why don't you care about your birthday? And I was like, I don't know. That's a pretty good question. Like,
that's true.
You should think about that.
I want to salute somebody in the chat who is like super P1, and I always love talking to her. And that is Linda Liberty. What a great, like the greatest name ever, right? Linda
Is that
Liberty.
your real name?
That's her name.
Your last name is Liberty? That's
her
awesome.
name is Linda. And she says Irish wit could be smartassery.
Indeed it is. It's just a nicer way to say it. It's like an Irish goodbye.
Going to get cigarettes?
No, it's bailing is what that is.
Going to get cigarettes.
Yeah, it's like I'm trashed, I'm leaving so nobody knows I'm trashed. I'm bailing, I'm abandoning everybody. Like there are other ways to say that, right? Summer birthdays are great until you get out of school. You've been conditioned your whole life to have the day off and have fun, and then suddenly you're an adult and have to go to work.
That's the truth.
Oh,
you know what they say?
I had 12 years of having my birthday off in the summers. Cry me a river, person who never had all of his birthdays off for 12 years.
How about somebody?
I know Russ. Russ is great. He knows the joke.
That's awesome.
Steve wants another bell, I guess. Pam, the Jam Warner. Brett, do you ever do local improv? I have a lawyer friend who does it.
No.
That's it. He's like, that door is closed.
No, the question is, do I ever do it? No, the answer is no. It doesn't mean
that's not true.
Aspiration.
No, that's not true. You do improv every single day for an overachieving 4 hours.
That's right. The crowd goes wild.
Oh, that's right. This is all improv right now. We're literally doing improv right now.
We're doing a show. Let's go down to the beach.
Be a sound. Sound.
You want me to be a sound?
I'm just kidding.
Beat a sound?
That's a theater trick. It's improv. Be a sound.
Be a sound.
That's why I could never hack it with the theater, because like as a mass comm major, I had to take theater class.
You a mass comm? I didn't know mass comm. That's interesting.
Yeah, mass communication broadcast. That's why I never did answer that question, did I?
About what?
About when I knew I wanted to do this.
Yeah, when did you want to do that? When did you decide you needed to do this or wanted to do this?
I did answer that. I said
when they fired you from Checkville.
That's right. I got canned. It was Checkgate. It was a scandal. It was terrible. No, I think about this. I think so. I started off. Well, there were a couple. So I started as a reporter, but I remember knowing as a reporter that I didn't want to stay a reporter. I wanted to become a host, but I also knew, because I had been exposed to Rush Limbaugh in like 90, probably would have been like, probably like 92, 90 or 91, 92 time frame, something like that.
Yeah.
I remember sitting in the car with my brother. It was a summer. We were eating lunch because we were working at a job site together at a company my dad worked for. They were doing some renovation. They had to take a bunch of stuff down. I'm sitting in the car and I'm listening to Limbaugh with my brother. And I don't remember what was on. I don't remember what he was saying, but we grew up also listening to NPR because Dad listened to NPR all the time because he would commute to the city. And Yeah, he'd listen to music, sure, but he would listen to the, the morning news and all of that. And then I would write all the time, and then I would get to read my stories to the front of the class in like first grade, second grade, third grade. And I remember people listening to what I was saying and thinking, holy cow, these people are actually interested in what I'm saying. This is like so unlike my home experience at all, where nobody cares about anything I'm saying. It's just a joke. So I think that's like little pieces of it. And then I started doing current events as like a class project. And I really liked reading the newspaper, keeping up with my Dodgers box scores because they were out west. And school paper, went to college, was an English major, hated it, had too much science requirements. And the guy was like, dude, mass comm. I was like, okay, broadcast. And they had a radio track. And I was like, well, let me do that. And we got a radio station at the college. And so, yeah, and that was it. And then it kind of all, then working in it, it kind of all started, like it all started fitting together, like the spoken word, what you can do with that. And then doing hosting, I originally went into it thinking, well, this was like a way to tell stories in a longer form. And that was what my initial stories or a show was. I did a weekend, current events show. And it was just like long form news story once a week. Yeah, on BT on the Sunday show. And then I got bounced for Pat McCrory.
Really?
No, I didn't get bounced. I'm just kidding. He was on though too. He had a Sunday show. Christy was at a Fish concert New Year's Eve 99. Was that the one where they played the White Album? That one was legendary. You played some recordings of those. They were hysterical. Play them again sometime.
Oh, of the Rush Chang Limbang. I still have them. I still have them.
I just love the name. I laugh every time I hear it.
Hold on. All right.
We both handle agitators so well. What's your secret, Brett?
To handling agitators?
Agitators.
I was a Red Sox fan in New York City. No, it's true. When you're agitating, hold on. When you're agitating, that's gold. Like, Pete, when you get one on the hook, I mean, it is magnificent, right? Yeah. I mean, you know the feeling,
right? And
they're just blasting you and tearing you up, and you're like, all right, okay, yeah. I always say that. Yes, always, right. Always, never.
So this gets to what Rush Limbaugh's rules, right? The number one rule of the caller is make the host look good.
Look good. Yep. And that's the truth.
Right. And so like, and there are different things you can do. So it's like I think probably the biggest thing is identifying what kind of an agitator you've got. So you know which way to act. Right.
That is correct. Yes.
You got to try to suss that out pretty fast. Because and Brett, I think is masterful at doing this, which is just basically to kill him with kindness, even though I know that he's not really like being kind, like he's right. Like, oh, awesome.
Sure.
That's so awesome.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Of course. Always. Yes.
Yeah. Lyrics are very important. Yes, they are. That's what I always said. Robert Hunter was the best. So that's why I said, if you're going to get up in front of a stadium filled with 80,000 screaming fans,
oh my gosh,
they're listening to you play music and sing songs, say something.
Yes,
just something more, I don't know, impactful than the wheels are the thing on the car that makes contact with the road. That's literally a lyric. Why would you write that as a lyric? Why would that make the cut?
You can't do it.
The tires are the thing on your car that make contact with the road. And they just sing it over and over again.
That's right.
That was the thing about Fish I hated, was like it seemed like they were more interested in trying to impress me with that everybody was on time together. The Eagles are like this too. Everything the Eagles play, Bruce Springsteen does this too. There's no like jamming. Everything is tight. and that's what they like, and that's fine. I can appreciate that. But like when you don't care enough about the lyrics to say something more impactful than that, and you're just interested in showing me, and then they would stop playing, like right in the middle of the song, they would just stop playing all together at the same time while you're dancing. You're like you finally like got the crowd on their feet, they're dancing, and then they just stop. And then they start again, and everybody's like starts dancing again, and then they stop. And they stop on like the downbeat, so you can't even look cool when you're stopping. Like you can't time that. So
right, that's right. That is, you got that.
DMB put on a lame Charlotte show some years ago, then apparently went to Raleigh and killed it. That would be my luck. Yeah, great show in Raleigh, terrible one in Charlotte. The 3D things were cool. Steve says, Brett, today I saw a guy wearing a corn shirt. I asked him, "Are you ready?" And he looked at me like I was a germ.
That happens.
He didn't get
because sometimes people buy those T-shirts and they don't even know any of the music. So there you go.
That's true, because they sell them in Target.
That's it.
Drew says, Pete, you look like a rock and roll DJ or a super villain. Rock and roll DJ or super villain? I do have to cut this down. This
depends on the day, right?
Yeah, it's true.
I like
Where's
the look.
John Moore? I miss hearing him laugh. John Moore, he's not here tonight. He's my producer now. I saw Jimi Hendrix at the old Coliseum with an unknown warm-up band, something called Chicago Transit Authority.
Oh.
They became Chicago.
25 or 6-4.
DeSantis is the man. When are we going to have the Pete and Brett live show on Saturday afternoon at the American Legion in Fort Mill for the listeners?
That's Wyatt. Wyatt can spot talent.
He's a talent agent. Jennifer is a Western New Yorker too. I used to love Carvel. They have Carvel ice cream at Harris Teeter now. They have the cakes at Harris Teeter, I believe. Pete, when you were doing the boring job, you could have been one of those dope smoking FM types. That's true. That came later. You can't be high doing. You're looking at checks that have numbers that are like 7 and 8 digits long.
Yeah,
you can't be high.
Yeah, you can't do that. That's no good.
Ionosphere skip. There you go. That's Spencer.
Oh, the skip. Yes, by Ionosphere.
That's his last name. Spencer just flipped the, skip Ionosphere.
I like it.
So literal. Irish wit could be smartassery. It is. Love you guys, says Aaron. Thank you, Aaron. Pete has the beard to be an FM type. And the mustache. It's a package deal there.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like the ones where it's just the beard and nothing up here. Because like this is the harder part to shave. Like this is purely for laziness. I don't want to. Oh yeah. I don't want. Oh well, and also it hid the double chin for like 20 years. Yeah. I saw him open for the Monkees years earlier. Same venue. Hendrix got booed off the stage. What kind of monster do you have to be to boo Jimi Hendrix? Well, I guess if you're going to a Monkees show, that does make sense.
That's a good point.
My wife's birthday is December 26th, 6 minutes after midnight to be specific. PSA, do not give a pair of shoes, one for Christmas and one for birthday. It didn't go as I intended about 25 years ago.
Don's awesome.
There was a story that, what's his face? Mark Sanford, the cheating governor. I read his ex-wife's book, actually interviewed her for it. She said he gave her half a bicycle for her birthday and then gave her the other half of the bicycle for Christmas. Not because her birthday was like in the summer.
Dang.
It's because he was that cheap. He
had money to go. He had money to go gallivanting with Jean Nate or whatever it was.
Heart wants what it wants. Okay. You guys are cracking me up. Thank you, says Jennifer. Spencer says, I'm retired. Nothing to do all day and all day to do it. I got you. Russ says, I have a nephew with a Christmas Eve birthday. When he was young, no one was allowed to even say the C word until after the birthday was completely celebrated.
Completely celebrated.
Completely celebrated. Yeah, like, what is that? Like, how do you know? What if somebody shows up the next day after you've thought you've completely celebrated? That's funny. No, I will say this for my mom in her defense, and she did the best she could. Like, I no hard feelings there. She would not hang Christmas decorations before my birthday because she never wanted my birthday to be passed over. So it was like, yay, Pete's birthday is over. And so now we can bust out, let's decorate now. So there was always, you know what, now that I'm thinking of it right now, it's like this is literally now coming to me, like maybe that's also part of the deal, because my siblings were always like ready for my birthday to be over so they could decorate the house.
That's awesome. Whoa.
Going deep. You two guys have the best bumper music. Almost seems a competition. I like the fact that we have different. I like the fact we have different bump tunes. I do like.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it reflects more of his personality and his tastes, and my superior tastes.
That's right. Absolutely.
I hope my Eclipse stuff is not considered agitating. Maybe the spider stories were. We don't consider your stories agitating, Spencer.
No, those are good.
No. The wheels on the bus go round and round. Yeah, that's almost like a Fish song. Don't cut the beard. Go full Rasputin. Well, no, I don't want. I don't. It gets like, I know it's too long when I start feeling it on my, like chin? Right here on the on the chest area here. When I do that, I don't like that.
Yeah.
So it's like it's time to chop it down. What are your favorite weekly segments that are not your own?
Whatever.
Like on WBT or in media in general?
So what are your favorite weekly segments that are, okay. So like, what do I like about your stuff and what do you like about my stuff, I guess? I mean,
I don't, but I don't do weekly segments.
Yeah. I
like Nick Mulvaney's stuff that he does with the morning show. And, I like when Brett joins them. I don't like when they join. No, I'm kidding. I like it this way. No, I like your crossing the stream stuff. And believe it or not, I know it's not cool to say, but I do like, I did like the Pat McCrory stuff.
Yeah, Pat McCrory. I always learn stuff from him. I mean, that's
right. I don't have to agree with the guy to just, he throws out some, if he's got some stories too, I think those are, valuable.
Yeah. Yep.
Random radio question from Patrick. Before social media and the internet, how could you tell if you had 50 or 500 listeners to your show? Is it just potential listeners based on population?
That's a good question.
What are we allowed to say?
Well, so there are meters that exist that measure our reach, I think, right? Isn't that how it would be?
Yeah. And they measure radio frequency waves.
Yes, they do.
So I will tell you this. When I worked in a market, so this Charlotte market's different. I worked in a market which has been done forever, which was diaries. And that you would get the people in the neighborhood, they get diaries and you would write down what you listened to. And that's how they would measure. And then they had formulas and extrapolate out based on population and demographics and all that stuff. So that's how they would measure. And there's been a long time push to get like a Nielsen ratings box on your TV, which actually measures what you're watching, for how long you're watching, that kind of stuff. There's been a push for a long time to get that kind of tech into radios and in your car to measure that with that kind of precision. But
it's complicated because you've got satellite now and you've got
a
lot. I mean, I don't know about you, but I just bounce between channels. Like when they go to commercial on, on when I'm driving around or something,
Right.
I'll be like, bang, 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 bang. I'm not talking about WBT. I'm talking about like if I'm on another platform and they go to something else, I'll just jump around. But you know what was really complicated? Because I spent a good part of my career in Southern California. And when I was in San Diego, you would have KFI booming into San Diego, and they're 90 miles away. So, you're like,
It's technically a different market.
Yeah. That's
so it's 8:30 and Brett's been already talking for like 4 hours. So I'm going to read through the rest of these comments real quick. So he can go to bed. Although I don't think he sleeps. Great job, guys. Y'all need to do this freewheeling banter commentating a sports event on paid TV. Okay, y'all's comments on Van Morrison. I'm a fan.
Yeah, I like him.
My weekend doesn't start until I feel a good one coming on.
That's great.
Yeah, that's it. That's something I took from Hancock, which I like his segments too on the morning show.
Very much.
Yeah, like that was one of the things he would do, and I told him this too. Like he would play that Tom Petty song, "Big Weekend," and I loved it. And even though it was Friday afternoon, it's like if I heard that song, it made me feel good. Like, hey, we're going into a weekend. So that's my homage to Hancock, aka stealing. I knew TJ was all right when I texted for Primus bumper music, a true music aficionado. 11:10. Cheers. Drew says cheers. He was in Pat is hilarious. Pat won't get fooled again. That's what I've heard. I have heard Pat won't get fooled again. Never will. The transmitter signal will slightly drop the more receivers are tuned to that signal. That's not on anymore. I don't know when he's on. Is he still? I haven't tuned in. Is he still doing the Wednesdays? It's intermittent because he does other stuff.
Yeah, he does. He does. And I had him on during the assassination attempt, but that's the last time I had him on.
Which one? Which assassination attempt?
The kinetic as opposed to the aspirational. How about that?
Okay, that's fair. I just said I gotta ask, but I gotta ask. Okay. All righty. Well, look, I think we kept Brett up very late, and although I say that, but I don't think he sleeps. But I know he just got off the air for 4 hours, and now I've kept him around for another 90.
It's awesome.
Minutes.
I love it.
And so, Brett, always enjoy hanging out with you. I'll see you tomorrow when I hand off the studio to you. Are you going to be in studio tomorrow?
I will be in studio tomorrow. And let me just say, we are so grateful for the great support from Craft Body Scan, craftbodyscan.com. You can get more information from them. They are absolutely incredible. And they're sponsoring all of this. So it is so wonderful. And thank you so much to Marcia Landis as well, our tremendous market manager, and we just really appreciate everything that you do for us. So this is proof that we stayed later than anybody else, Marcia. No,
it's not a contest, but if it is, we won.
Yes, we did. Pete, good to see you, man. I'll see you in the studio.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody. We love you guys. Thank you.